These rules have been established to enable safe and sustainable hunting opportunities that do not conflict with military training aboard the installation. Violators will receive individual penalties, but the truth is we all suffer. Unsafe and unethical hunting practices result in everyone's hunting privileges becoming more restricted. The hunting opportunities of today are a direct result of the lawful and ethical practices of our previous hunters. Do your part in maintaining our hunting program by reading, understanding, and practicing these rules. The following categories are eligible to hunt on board the military installation. Unless otherwise designated as a hunter-helper, all personnel are required to maintain the necessary licenses and permits on their person at all times.
Hunter helpers, or guests, are defined as non-hunting individuals that meet the criteria from the list of authorized personnel. All personnel must be accounted for in the training areas at all times. Failure to notify CLEOs via iSportsman that you have a non-hunting individual accompanying you will result in suspension or revocation of future hunting privileges. Camp Pendleton hunter eligibility requirements coincide with California Fish and Game regulations. All check-in and check-out procedures are to be conducted through the iSportsman website. Failure to sign in or out of a hunting area will result in immediate suspension of hunting privileges aboard the installation. Deer and waterfowl hunters can enter to win a weekly lottery on iSportsman. Please review the deer and waterfowl hunting rules for more specifics on reservations and to view a typical weekly schedule with the lottery system.
The available hunting areas will typically be posted on iSportsman the Thursday prior to the hunting weekend. The hunting area will vary based on the training needs, fires, and road conditions. Hunting areas are coordinated through range scheduling. Please take the opportunity to familiarize yourself of the designated hunting area boundaries prior to entering. Please take note of the general hunting restrictions regarding being under the influence of a drug or alcohol. No lead ammunitions, no drones, no baiting, and do not enter impact areas, Zulu, Quebec, or whiskey.
The following are the 5 weapon safety rules. Treat every weapon as if it were loaded. Never point a weapon at anything you do not intend to shoot. Keep your fingers straight and off the trigger until you are ready to fire. Keep your weapon on safe until you intend to fire. Know your target and what lies beyond it. The following weapons, ammunition, and equipment listed are authorized to be used on board Camp Pendleton. Please pause the presentation to review the information and take special note of the minimum calibers for deer, coyote, rabbit, and squirrel. Handguns may be carried to euthanize deer except when archery hunting. You can sign up for archery ethics and safety courses after your account has been validated on iSportsman. Regarding weapons safety and marksmanship, we expect you to be courteous, careful, and considerate towards wildlife and fellow hunters in the field. Just as importantly, we expect you to be capable. Hunting season should not be the first time you've used your weapon all year. Improve and maintain your capabilities by shooting outside of the hunting season. There are many resources aboard Camp Pendleton that facilitate improvement in weapon handling and marksmanship skills. Use common sense when considering the type of vehicle you will be taking out into the field. Weapon transportation must adhere to California Vehicle Code. Please take special note to the following. Do not use jeep trails or fire breaks. You may not transport or leave a loaded weapon in your vehicle. Please pause the video and review the information in detail. Waterfowl hunting requires additional stamps and validations. Boats are authorized in various areas, but are required to maintain specific safety equipment and have occupancy limitations. The following information outlines waterfowl hunter conduct in and around an established blinds. Of note, foot traffic is strictly prohibited anywhere within the Santa Margarita River estuary. Cutting and/or removing of vegetation is prohibited in all hunting areas. Only 4 people may occupy a single blind. Jump shooting waterfowl is not authorized. General safety is always the #1 priority. Proper planning is useful in preventing accidents and mishaps out in the field. Take the time to consider risk factors such as weather conditions, physical capabilities or limitations, and terrain. The following slides outline important hunter safety measures and requirements. Take special note. Do not utilize rifle scopes to glass areas. These safety requirements are applicable to all categories of game hunting aboard the installation. Hunter orange is required except when hunting in an area designated for archery or waterfowl. Target practice is not authorized in the hunting areas. Do not touch or approach unexploded ordnance. Please pause the presentation to review carefully. Waterfowl hunters have a few specific safety requirements. Please review the slide. The following harvest information and procedure requires the hunter to immediately fill out and attach a harvest tag after shooting the deer. Harvested deer must be reported to California Fish and Game no later than 30 days after being taken or by 31 January. Deer, waterfowl, and small game needs to be reported within checking out of iSportsman. Please pause the slide and review carefully before moving forward with the presentation. A few miscellaneous items of note include scouting requirements, deer stand restrictions, and storage information. A hunter may only take game that they are checked out to hunt. With exception, deer hunters may take coyote while hunting deer. The following slide covers violations, suspensions, and seizures. In addition to fines and suspensions required by the state of California, any violation of federal law, state law, or base regulation may result in a temporary or permanent loss of base hunting privileges. Our Conservation Law Enforcement Office personnel are authorized to seize equipment, game, and/or permits pursuant to law and policy, and in accordance with their official duties. Hunters are required to submit to random inspection and systematic checks for regulation compliance.
Hunting ethics. Particular virtue in wildlife ethics is that the hunter ordinarily has no gallery to applaud or disapprove of his conduct, but of his acts they are dictated by his own conscience, rather than that of onlookers. It is difficult to exaggerate the importance of this fact. Aldo Leopold.
Obeying laws and regulations versus ethical decisions. There's an important distinction between what is legal and what is ethical. Laws and regulations dictate what we can and cannot do, while ethics guide us in what we should or should not do. There is no law regulating long-distance shooting and ethical practices, but ethical shots should be restricted by an individual's capability, weapons capability, and weather conditions. One must always consider shot angles and placement. Be aware of common behavioral habits of the species you are hunting because animals are not stationary targets. Only pull the trigger or release the string if you are confident that it will result in a quick, ethical kill. Respecting the animal is the responsibility of the hunter. You must strive to ensure that you are delivering sufficient trauma to quickly kill your target with as little pain and suffering as possible. Make every effort to find any game you might have wounded. For your safety, in the event you must enter another training area, you must notify the conservation law enforcement team before doing so. Please note, you should know you and your weapon's maximum effective range. Final thoughts on hunting ethics. We believe most hunters know what is ethical and what is not. We must uphold ourselves to the highest ethical standards. It is critical to hold each other and ourselves accountable in order to maintain the privileges of hunting on board Camp Pendleton.
Hunting etiquette coincides with hunting ethics. Etiquette can be defined as the customary code of polite behavior in society or among members of a particular profession or group.
Good hunting etiquette practices aids in ensuring that everyone has a positive hunting experience. Take the time and pause the presentation to review the examples on how you can apply good hunter etiquette in the field. If you have not already done so, please take the time to write down or save the Conservation Law Enforcement Office duty number to your contacts. If a Conservation Law Enforcement officer does not immediately answer, they are likely driving or engaged with another hunter in the field. Leave a message and they will get back to you as soon as possible. In the event you are unable to contact the Conservation Law Enforcement officer during a medical emergency, contact 760-725-4604. Remember to be ethical, ask questions, be safe. If you do not have the shot, do not take it. And most importantly, have fun. The success of this hunting program depends on you and your compliance with the rules and base regulations. Hunt on.